What's up, Wrestlingverse family? Welcome back to the channel, and if you just clicked on this video, you are about to dive into 3 of the most explosive stories rocking WWE right now. We're talking about Roman Reigns potentially becoming the new leader of the Vision, Paul Heyman speaking out about Seth Rollins in a way that has everyone talking, and major developments with Jade Cargill that are changing everything. Family, this video is packed with breaking news and analysis, so let's get into it. Before we break down these 3 massive stories, make sure you destroy that like button, smash subscribe, and hit that notification bell because Wrestlingverse CC brings you the most comprehensive wrestling coverage. Drop a comment telling me which story has you most hyped. Let's dive in. First up, family, let's talk about the bombshell news that Roman Reigns might be taking over as the new leader of the Vision. This is absolutely insane when you think about the implications. The Vision has been this mysterious faction operating in WWE, creating chaos, manipulating situations, and nobody really knew who was pulling all the strings. There have been hints, there have been clues, but now reports are suggesting that Roman Reigns is positioning himself to become the mastermind behind the Vision's operations. Think about what this means, family. Roman Reigns, the former tribal chief who was recently deposed from leadership of the bloodline by Solo Sikoa, now potentially taking control of an entirely different faction. This isn't just Roman joining a group, this is Roman taking over leadership, becoming the head of something new and potentially more dangerous than the bloodline ever was. The strategic genius of this move is incredible. Roman has always been about power and control, family. When he lost his position as tribal chief, when his family turned their backs on him, everyone wondered how Roman would respond. Would he try to reclaim the bloodline? Would he fade into the background? Would he align with unexpected people? Well, family, taking over the Vision answers all those questions in the most dramatic way possible. This is Roman saying he doesn't need the bloodline, he's going to build something even more dominant. The membership of the Vision under Roman's leadership is going to be fascinating, family. Who joins Roman in this new iteration of the faction? Are there current Vision members who stay loyal? Does Roman recruit wrestlers who have been overlooked or disrespected? The possibilities are endless, and each potential member creates new storyline opportunities. This could completely reshape the WWE landscape. The rivalry potential here is incredible, family. Roman leading the Vision versus Solo Sikoa leading the bloodline is the kind of faction warfare that WWE hasn't done at this level in years. 2 branches of the Anoa'i family leading separate factions, both claiming to represent the true path forward. The matches, the promos, the drama, all of it is going to be must-see television for months to come. Now let's talk about Paul Heyman, family, because what he said about Seth Rollins has absolutely stunned the wrestling world. Paul Heyman, who has been the advocate for Roman Reigns for years, who helped build the tribal chief character, recently cut a promo that has everyone talking. Heyman addressed Seth Rollins directly, and what he said was shocking, controversial, and completely captivating. Heyman started by talking about the history between him and Seth, family. They've crossed paths many times over the years, had their conflicts, their alliances, their complicated relationship. But what Heyman said this time was different. He called out Seth for being a revolutionary who never fully commits to his revolutions. Heyman said that Seth talks about changing WWE, about being a visionary, but when push comes to shove, Seth always falls back into the same patterns. The specific words Heyman used were brutal, family. He said that Seth Rollins is the ultimate pretender, someone who wears different costumes and adopts different personas but never actually becomes anything real. Heyman compared Seth to himself, saying that while Seth plays at being controversial, Heyman has actually lived a controversial life in wrestling. The disrespect was palpable, and you could see Seth's reaction building as Heyman spoke. But then Heyman went even further, family. He brought up Seth's relationship with Roman Reigns, talking about how Seth broke up the Shield but could never escape Roman's shadow. Heyman said that everywhere Seth goes, whatever he accomplishes, people always compare him to Roman. And according to Heyman, Seth always comes up short in those comparisons. The psychological warfare was masterful. The most shocking part of Heyman's comments was when he extended an invitation to Seth, family. Heyman suggested that if Seth really wants to be the revolutionary he claims to be, if he truly wants to change WWE, then he should consider joining Roman Reigns in the Vision. The crowd went absolutely crazy. The idea of Seth Rollins, Roman's former Shield brother, aligning with Roman under the Vision banner is mind-blowing. Seth's response to Heyman's comments has been intense. Family. Seth cut his own promo saying that Paul Heyman is a manipulator, a snake, someone who has betrayed everyone he's ever worked with. Seth said he would never align with Roman again after everything that happened with the Shield. But you could see in Seth's eyes that Heyman's words got to him, that the psychological attack had an effect. That's vintage Heyman, getting inside someone's head. The wrestling community is divided on this. Family. Some fans think Seth should absolutely join the Vision, creating an unstoppable faction with him and Roman leading the way. Others think Seth would be betraying everything his character stands for if he aligned with Roman. The debate is fierce, and that's exactly what WWE wants, to create conversations and get people emotionally invested in these stories. Now let's talk about Jade Cargill, family, because there are major developments happening with her WWE career right now. Jade has been an absolute star since arriving in WWE, bringing a unique combination of power, athleticism, and presence that sets her apart from everyone else in the women's division. Her impact has been immediate and undeniable. The latest news about Jade involves her positioning in WWE's long-term plans. Family. Reports suggest that WWE sees Jade as a cornerstone of the women's division moving forward, someone they want to build around for years to come. This isn't surprising when you look at everything Jade brings to the table. She's got the look, the ability, and the charisma that main event stars are made of. There have been discussions about Jade potentially moving into championship contention. Family. Whether it's the Women's Championship or the Women's Tag Team Championships, WWE is reportedly planning major opportunities for Jade in the coming months. The question is who she aligns with or if she continues as a dominant solo competitor. Either way, Jade's trajectory is pointing straight to the top. The other major Jade Cargill development involves potential dream matches. Family. Fans in WWE Creative have been discussing fantasy matchups involving Jade against some of the biggest names in women's wrestling. Jade versus Rhea Ripley would be an absolute war between two powerhouses. Jade versus Bianca Belair would showcase incredible athleticism. The possibilities are exciting, and WWE knows these matches would generate massive interest. There's also talk about Jade being involved in cross-brand storylines. Family. With WWE becoming more fluid between Raw and SmackDown, there are opportunities for Jade to make appearances on both shows, creating moments and matches that wouldn't have been possible under the old brand split structure. This flexibility allows WWE to maximize Jade's star power and create the biggest possible moments. Jade's presence has elevated the entire women's division. Family. Other women wrestlers have talked about how working with Jade pushes them to be better, to step up their game, to rise to the challenge. That's what true stars do, they make everyone around them better. Jade is doing that in WWE, and the long-term benefits for the women's division will be enormous. Looking at all three of these stories together, family, you can see WWE is in an incredibly creative period. Roman potentially leading the Vision creates faction warfare opportunities. Paul Heyman's comments on Seth create psychological drama and the possibility of shocking alliances. Jade Cargill's continued rise creates new stars and fresh matchups in the women's division. All of these stories are interconnected in WWE's larger narrative tapestry. The business implications of these developments are significant. Family. Roman leading a new faction generates merchandise opportunities and creates new revenue streams. The Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins drama generates social media engagement and keeps people talking about WWE. Jade Cargill's push demonstrates WWE's commitment to building new stars and investing in the future. All of this is good for business and good for fans. From a long-term storytelling perspective, these three stories have potential to develop over many months. Family. Roman building the Vision from the ground up. The back and forth between Heyman, Seth, and potentially Roman. Jade's journey toward championship glory. These aren't quick angles that will be resolved in a few weeks, these are substantial narratives that will keep fans invested and coming back for more. The international appeal of these stories is also worth noting. Family. Roman Reigns is a global superstar recognized around the world. Paul Heyman's promos are legendary in every country that watches wrestling. Jade Cargill represents the kind of athlete that transcends wrestling and appeals to mainstream audiences. WWE is creating content that works domestically and internationally. Wrestling vs. Family. These three stories represent some of the most exciting developments in WWE right now. Roman Reigns potentially taking over the Vision changes everything. Paul Heyman's brutal comments about Seth Rollins create drama and intrigue. Jade Cargill's continued rise showcases WWE's commitment to building new stars. The next few months are going to be absolutely incredible, and we'll be here covering every single development. What do you think about these stories, family? Should Roman lead the Vision? Was Paul Heyman right about Seth Rollins? How far can Jade Cargill go in WWE? Drop all your thoughts and predictions in the comments. Let's discuss these incredible storylines. If you enjoyed this breakdown of 3 major WWE stories, destroy that like button. Subscribe to Wrestling vs. CC for daily wrestling coverage and analysis. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our content. We're building the best wrestling community on YouTube. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Wrestling vs. CC for even more content. Thank you for watching, family. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.